Hey everybody, Motumbo here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are playing some more Historic here on Magic Arena. And I've had a few people reach out to me and ask me specifically to build a deck, revolving around one of the new cards from Crimson Vow, and we are going to do just that. So let's just hop right into this deck. We are calling it Combustible Dollhouse. So this deck revolves around the Dollhouse of Horrors. So this is a 5-mana artifact. It says, pay 1 mana, tap it, exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of the exiled card, except it's a 0/0 construct, in addition to its other types. And it has, this creature gets +1/+1 for each construct you control. It gains haste until end of turn. You can only do this as a sorcery. So we've seen some other content creators really use this card to do stuff like Scoot Swarm, or to make different type of reanimation targets. There's like a one of the green mythics that lets you put lands into play, and then you draw a card and play a land, draw a card, play a land, whatever. But we are going to focus on doing something a little bit different. We're going to try to activate Dollhouse of Horrors multiple times in one turn and potentially try to kill our opponent. Now, we can't necessarily kill our opponent super easy. We did opt to not put some of the copy spells in our deck, but I do still think it will be possible to, one-shot our opponent because of some of the cards that we're playing. Now, let's hit on the other namesake of the deck, and that is Combustible Gearhulk. So Combustible Gearhulk is a 6-mana 6/6. It's got first strike. When it enters the battlefield, your opponent has to basically either let you draw 3 cards or you mill 3 cards. Now, the caveat to that is if they choose for you to mill 3 cards, they're going to take damage equal to the casting cost of those 3 cards. So if we, if we play one of these and they mill the other 3 Combustible Gearhulks in our deck, they're going to take 18 damage. So pretty powerful. And again, that is going to be one way that we could potentially one-shot our opponents. So I am looking forward to trying to do something along those lines. But again, like I mentioned, we want to try to do this as many times in one turn as we can. And how do we do that? Well, we are going to do that on the back of Corridor Monitor. So Corridor Monitor is a pretty innocuous card, really. It is a 2-mana 1/4. When it comes into enters the battlefield, you get to untap target artifact or creature you control. So for 1 mana, you get to exile a Corridor Monitor. Corridor Monitor is going to come into play as a token copy of itself, and then it's going to untap maybe, usually Dollhouse of Horrors, and then we get to activate it again for another creature in our graveyard. So that is one way that we are going to be able to do this multiple times. Really the only way we're going to be able to do this multiple times. But we also want to make sure that we are feeding our graveyard with different, or with as many creatures as possible, right? We're wanting stuff in the graveyard. We're wanting stuff in the graveyard quickly. So we're also playing 4 copies of Emry. Emry's great. She gets cheaper based on each artifact that we control. So we are going to be playing Mox Ambers. Mox Ambers is a 0 casting cost artifact that says we can add mana equal to the color of whatever legendary that we have in play. So Emry is a legendary creature. She's really going to be the only way that we can tap for mana, but she does, she does bring like our affinity for artifacts down. So Emry's great. She can also tap to, she mills 4 cards when she comes into play. And then we could tap it and choose an artifact card in our graveyard and cast it that turn. So we can, anything we mill that's an artifact, we potentially get to recast it the following turn. Really, really, really powerful, really powerful card. She is usually a immediate removal target. You really don't want to let Emry start doing crazy things. 1 or 2 Emry activations can just, lose somebody the game. You have to be really careful. Now, I do want to point out again, this makes constructs, and a lot of the creatures that we are playing are constructs. Combustible Gearhulk's a construct. Corridor Monitor's a construct. You know what else is a construct? Bomat Courier. Bomat Courier is great because, again, not only is it just a 1-mana construct, it has haste, so we can attack the turn it comes into play. We also get to exile cards face down underneath it every time we attack. And then we could pay red to sacrifice it to draw those cards, or put those cards that were exiled with Bomat Courier into our hand, and then we have to discard our hand. What's really cool about the synergy with this is if we're drawing all of our really expensive cards that we haven't even covered yet, this is going to be a great way to feed them into our graveyard by discarding our hand so we can bring back those expensive cards or those expensive creatures with this Dollhouse of Horrors. It also allows us to put Dollhouse of Horrors in our graveyard because we are also playing Trash for Treasure. So Trash for Treasure is as an additional cost to cast the spell, we have to sacrifice an artifact. We get to return target artifact card from our graveyard to the battlefield. So really great synergy there as well. I'm really excited to be able to play a Trash for Treasure on potentially, turn 3, I believe, is the fastest. I don't think we can get it on turn 2, maybe, if we have some kind of crazy Mox Amber, Bomat Courier, Emry draw, but I don't think we can. I think we have to do it on turn 3. But still really cool. We're also playing 4 copies of Faithless Looting, and I know I'm skipping everywhere, but I just want to kind of hit on all the synergies as we're going. Faithless Looting, again, to draw cards and to discard cards. Again, we're going to feed those expensive cards that we draw into the graveyard, and we could flash this back if we need to. We do have 3 copies of Mind Stone. We did need a cheap artifact, and this does actually help us, with mana generation and artifact affinity at the same time, which is really, really good because we are only playing, I believe, 21 land. And we're just going to hit on the last couple cards in the deck. We're playing Thought Monitor, 4 copies of these. This is a 7 mana 2/2, but it does have affinity for artifacts. So every artifact we have in play is going to be cheaper. And then when it does come into play, we do get to draw 2 cards. Also worth noting, it is a construct. So it does help feed the other constructs that we have in play, even though this most likely will just come into play with this. But if we do cast Thought Monitor, it is a construct, and it will make our other constructs created by the Dollhouse even bigger. And last but not least, a cool card that I stumbled upon while I was going through cards that I do feel like fits into this deck quite perfectly is going to be Junkwinder. So this is a 7 mana 5/6. It's got affinity for tokens. So we are playing tokens, but I don't ever think we're actually going to be casting this from our hand. We're going to actually be trying to reanimate this also, in addition to our Gearhulks and our Corridor Monitors, because this has a really cool interaction. So again, remember, Dollhouse of Horror makes tokens. Junkwinder says, whenever a token enters the battlefield under your control, tap target non-land permanent an opponent controls. It doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. So again, we're trying to kill our opponent as quickly as possible, and that's usually the case with any deck that people are playing. But Junkwinder comes into play as a token and will actually trigger itself. So you get to tap down one of their blockers, and it won't untap that following turn. And then the more tokens that we're actually making, the more triggers this is going to get, the more creatures we get to tap down, and then we potentially just have a board that is going to be completely tapped down and wide open to attack, and that is going to be a potential way for us to kill our opponent. So I wanted to try a couple of those in this deck. So we are playing 2. Again, 7 mana, 5/6. Not the best stats. Again, it does have affinity for tokens, but again, we're not really trying to power out a whole bunch of tokens and then play this, because I do feel like once we start powering out tokens, we should be winning the game or close to it. So at that point, this is going to be kind of, it's going to be kind of weird to drop after we're already making our token. So that should be one of the things. So again, just to double check, we are playing 21 land. Of notable lands, we have 4 copies of Treasure Vault. This is an artifact land, so it will count for Emry and Affinity. It can also create treasure tokens if we need to do that. We are playing 4 Spire of Industries. This will allow mana generation of any color as long as we control an artifact. We are playing 2 copies of Inventor's Fair. This allows us to sacrifice it to go get an artifact, and it does gain us life during our upkeep. And we are playing 3 copies of Blinkmoth Nexus. Again, kind of important because this does turn into an artifact creature by tapping itself. And it also is just a 1/1 flyer if we need it. So yeah, that is going to be the deck, and we are playing 61 card special today. So yeah, we're going to hop into this deck, see how we do. And again, if you enjoy the games, the deck, the channel, the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out all those cool links down below. Join the Discord. Help us battle the YouTube algorithm demon monster that we're always trying to defeat. And again, I know we've already said it, but please join the Discord. We have some cool deck timber stuff coming up here in just a short week and a half. So be sure you're in the Discord for that, coming soon. So let's hop into the gameplay. And we will see you all forever. You ready for some dollhouses? Or at least one dollhouse, right? Let's get a dollhouse in play. Let's get some Combustible Gearhulks going. Let's do some untapping. This will be interesting, right? Not really a combo deck per se, but I do have a feeling it can be a little bit explosive depending on... not loving this hand. Not loving it. Mox Ambers are kind of dead. We do have all the rest of the other cards we want, so I think we're going to keep. And I have a feeling if we're playing against Jund Sacrifice... where are we playing again? This has to be Niv Mizzet, right? This is 100% Niv Mizzet. All right, well. Mine's down. No. We play a Mox Amber. This gets us down to... it doesn't really... I mean, this lets us cast a spell, lets us draw a card. And again, we don't really care if this Bowmat Courier dies. We would like to get some value out of it, but okay, well, Gigantha. Yeah, I really wish I actually had access to this dollhouse right now, but we do not. Okay, Emry's pretty good. Emry's good. We get rid of here. I think we should just get rid of this Sulfur Falls, right? I mean, this might pull a Deafening Clarion out of their hand. Can't tap for red mana, which kind of sucks. Don't want to see a Deafening Clarion, but Deafening Clarion is not the end of the world. It really just wipes our board. Okay. We were right. I'm a little upset that we lost access to those cards. Inventor's Fair is actually a pretty good draw. Alright, so Dollhouse of Horrors gets back... yeah, gets back the old Thought Monitor. Let's just draw a couple cards. Go. So next turn we can Emry for 1, and then we actually have access to Mox Amber, and I think we're good. All right, so get to Emry. Again, Emry gives us access to this mana over here. That was a good hit. So we are going to... we're going to tap this for blue. We are going to go ahead and go get our Junk Winder here. Tap that down. Go and untap this Dollhouse. And let's go get a corridor monitor. Let's go. Yep, let's go get it. So then we go get anything, and then we swing in for like 1,000,000 damage there. So yeah, that's the thing about Niv Mizzet, right? Niv Mizzet usually plays mostly at sorcery speed. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, there are plenty of okay, let me take that back. So they play lightning helixes. Some of them play Tyrant Scorn, stuff like that. But the majority, you know, like Maelstrom Pulse and Deafening Clarion, they're going to be tapping out a lot for really powerful spells. So if we're able to kind of combo-ish off like that, we're usually in a good. Sweet first game. Let's go. All right, well, we're going to hydrate for game 2, and hopefully we're going to get an opponent. There we go. Now, I say that because right after that last game, there was an update. And it has, there's always historically been issues. But do you think we keep this? All right, Bomat Courier is going to allow us to turn to Emry. Beautiful, okay. You will definitely take one to get down Emry. There is a Dollhouse. So we are going to try to live the dream next turn. I think we... Okay, so this is another Trash or Treasure. So... let's actually get this Mox. This is going to be a pretty sick turn. Tap this for blue, tap this for red. Bring back the old Dollhouse. Gonna sack the Mox. Oh yeah, this feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. Trial of Ambitions. Okay. Get back the Mox. And honestly, I think what we do here is, I think we are going to sacrifice, or I think we're going to get rid of our entire hand here, right? We don't have anything good. We could just play a Thought Monitor for 3 mana. But what we could do... Yep, let's go. To actually get to... And, I mean... And we came here for some Gearhulks. Oh, beautiful. Let's go again. Let's draw some cards. Seems really good. Very, very powerful. So they probably have to Wrath us here. Yep. They Wrath is here, and it looks like we can probably win. So we could Emry, but you know we're not about that life. We will get a Bomet Courier because that is something, right? We get to do this one more time and win the game. Oh, Cat Mega, come back. Oh my gosh, our deck kind of like popped off there. So Trash for Treasure is really good if you draw it. We didn't get to see it in the first game. Yeah, let's go. All right, so we just had a... I mean, I hate to say it. It was like, what, a 5-hour break because arena updates are bad? So, yeah, about that. About that, arena. Come on, get your stuff together. Do we keep this? I think we do. So we're just going to start with the attacks. The attacks are going to get in. That's actually a pretty decent draw. That might be something that they immediately feel like they have to kill. I am a little sad that Trash for Treasure went to the graveyard. And we actually had no real, like, good hits. That was actually a pretty good hit. So... don't actually hate just getting in, right? We actually don't need either one of those cards. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure our opponent just lets us do this. So we sack, we can immediately replay. And we're actually going to get to play 2 of these. So opponent's going to probably Collected Company here. No? Okay. They're just going to start popping off. So 4 mana. Maybe now they click. Yep, there it is. There it is. 1 mana floating. What do they hit? Alright, well, kind of gross. Kind of gross. Deck is dumb. Interesting. So they discarded 3 land. They only get 1. We're not going to block. But we're probably dead next turn. I mean, we have to get this down right now. And we have nothing to play. So next turn is... oh yeah, we're super dead. We are most likely super dead. Opponent just had like the nutty draw against us. Okay. Burning Tree Emissary, the irrelevant card right now this late in the game. Alright. How much damage do we take? 5, 10, 15. We are at 1. Alright, not a card we wanted to draw. Not a card we wanted to draw. So... I think we're just going to go ahead and play this out. All right, so Trash for Treasure doesn't really get us anywhere right now. We have to get pretty lucky. Wasn't really that lucky, unfortunately. Yeah, we needed mana. We needed the Spire of Industry not to tap, but then again, even if we were able to do that, I mean, we're only attacking for 6. Opponent is at 15. We're only attacking for 7. I mean, that's a decent chunk of damage. All right, well, we've lost. What do you do, right? We lost. Persephone, we lost. I know, it was a sad day. But yeah, it was still cool. We actually kind of started to pop off a little bit. I don't actually think there was anything that we could have done with Trash for Treasure. We maybe could have tapped one thing down. But yeah. Oh, still cool. Still cool. All right, let's go to the next game. All right, well, lost to one of the more degenerate decks in Historic. It's still a very fragile deck. Easily beaten by some decks, but still pretty degenerate with what it does. 2-mana Panharmonicon is really good, right? All right, so we're going to... I mean, I guess we're going to turn to Emry. Seems pretty good. I do kind of wish we actually had a treasure land in our hand. King Croesus. Welcome to the game. All right, what do we hit? All right, I don't mind those hits. Don't mind those hits, because... All right. So we're looking at most likely zombies. So if we can Trash for Treasure this Bomat Courier, get this Dollhouse back. I mean, I think that's the play. Yeah, pretty sure that's the play there. So then we can Combustible Gearhulk, play a Monitor. Maybe our Emry dies and we get to do it again. Right? So, totally fine with you killing. Yep, perfect. Perfect, perfect. This is okay, so this is actually really beneficial for us. Okay. Trash for Treasure, dead draw. Alright, so we are going to... Yeah, I'm going to grab Emry here first. Okay, then we are going to Corridor Monitor. We're going to untap. And then I think we are just going to get Combustible Gearhulk. Then we're going to probably swing in for at least 6. All right. Oh, well, we literally hit them for 1. They milled and we hit nothing. So, all right, next turn we're going to Trash for Treasure away this Corridor Monitor, and then we're going to go a little crazy. All right, Diagraph Colossus. Not a huge really care in the world right now. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get down Dollhouse number 2. And we will get a... Yeah, we'll get a Combustible Gearhulk. I mean, this is something they're definitely going to have to consider. Oh, good game. Big 12. King Croesus, what were you thinking? Oh, man, they probably just saw the very minimal damage they took the last time and then figured, oh, what the heck. We'll take the gamble there. So yeah, so what we do there is after that, I think we would just go get the Bomat Courier, because having a 4/4 Bomat Courier is really good. Or actually a Thought Monitor. Sorry, I forgot that got. Oh no, that just got milled. So we'd get a Thought Monitor swinging for 16. They have to do all kinds of crazy blocks. We don't get the Corridor Monitor there because we don't get another use this turn because all of our land after that point. So. Yeah, really, really fun. Trash of Treasure is really good. I'm really glad I decided to include that in this deck. So, cool. Next game. Let me get another swig of water real quick. Mr. Mittens. That's a cool name. I enjoy that. All right, we go first. So... Turn 2 Emry, not like the greatest, but we're gonna hold this Mox Amber. We don't want them to think we're gonna be doing any kind of shenanigans, so we're playing against goblins. Can our deck be as fast as goblins? Do this, and then we can get down that. I think it works out the same, right? We do this. Then we cast Emry for 1. And then nothing else happens, right? But we get to at least bluff that we have something. There's no way you're going to block this, are you? I would have been very happy with the trade here. I really am upset, though, that we're playing against goblins, because I don't know why goblin players always feel the need to play in the regular queue. Like, why is that a thing? Did we hit anything? Bomat Courier. It's like Bomat Courier is kind of free. I think at this point, right, this... Target artifact or creature. If we untap this, we still can't cast this. We're just essentially just setting up for next turn. Hopefully. I mean, our opponent's definitely setting up for next turn, right? All right, that's good. Them with land on top is good, but they're just adding to their... Oh, are they playing the Gromgully card? 3 mana. Oh, maybe this is the combo deck. Maybe they're on combo. Alright, Inventor's Fair's kinda decent. Draw something good. Give me something good. Alright, perfect. So, is there a world where we can get Dollhouse of Horrors into play? Play for 1. No, we can do it next turn though and activate, I think. Get this Junk Winder into play. One, 2, 3, 4. So close. So close. No attacks. I really like for them to have another land on top of their deck. I mean, I want to start doing stuff, right? Interesting. What is that? Oh no, are they about to just play their entire deck? Oh, it's colorless less. It's colorless less. Okay. Colorless less is fine. We'll cast that. Oh Lord. We think we might. Zach, we can play. Oh, perfect. Okay. Okay, so that was actually pretty good. Wow, I can't believe that we hit that. All right, let's gain a life. Actually drew another one. Interesting. So I think what we want is I want to trash for treasure. And I want to sack the corridor monitor. I want to get the dollhouse into play. Bring back the corridor monitor. And then bring back the junk winder. Yeah, that seems... That seems pretty good. All right, so we are, like I said, we're going to get this first. This is going to be a 3/3 and then a 4/4. And then we're going to tap down the one of the goblins. Matter. And let's put this friend into play. I think we just tapped down the Anarchomancer. And then we could get back another Mox Amber, but what's the point? We do get a swing here. But no attacks. Our land on top is huge, right? Okay. You're only going to get 2 at most. 2 damage at most. Gonna kill Emry. That's perfectly acceptable because we get to essentially play an Emry. That's going to be also a construct next turn. All right, let's get us a life. Okay, so this is actually a pretty interesting draw, right? So I do think we start here. Dollhouse of Horrors in our hand is kind of meh. But it could be pretty good. Right? Do we want another one? Emry. Yeah, I think Emry is the same here. All right, we're gonna tap you down. Oh, okay. And so we could Faithless Looting. I also kind of don't like where we are in regards to, but we could just all out swing here, right? I think we need a turn where they miss. I think we need it. Oh, of course not. Oh, holy muxes. Oh, all we do is ask for a turn where they miss. And then they throw up on us, right? Oh, goblins. Goblins. Maybe we played that wrong. This deck can do a lot of interesting things. But, I mean, next turn we were going to be set up really well, right? We were going to have another one of these in play. We were going to be able to tap down 2 things. We were going to be able to cast another Dollhouse. Yeah, but we were really just needing to get there. Oh well. Oh well. Interesting goblin build, my friend. Next game. Goblins. Why do people play goblins still? Like, I know we played it in our last video too, but it's just still not a deck. Like, Muxus is a card that should not exist. Sorry. Change my mind. Django Rango. Is this a hand we keep? Interesting. All right, I'm gonna shock this into play. This will give us the opportunity to not play our other Bowmat Courier. Opponent is now on what is oh, okay. All right, well, I'm gonna get this down because they know about it. If you want to spell pierce our Mox Amber, go right ahead. And I mean, I do think that we're in a situation where we would, yeah, I think we do trade. I think we do trade this. Oh, this is a beautiful hit right here. Beautiful hit, my friend. Yeah, so I mean, there's not a lot there. But opponent felt like there was enough, but they were most likely on a ninjutsu deck, because I have seen a couple of those in the past, and they were just stuck on land, right? This is a ninja because it is a changeling. But yeah, they were stuck on land. We attack, we draw 3 additional cards. We probably recast another Bomat Courier or maybe a Mind Stone. But yeah, that game was pretty locked down with them missing land. So all right, next game. All right, well, this is the final boss. I do think we should hydrate for the final boss. I think it's important. I'm not going to throw up the hydration reminder, but if you haven't had anything to drink in a while, between games 2 and 7, you might want to take a sip of water. Opponent goes first. I'm gonna keep this. This is not a great hand, but if we draw an Emry or a Faithless Looting, probably doing pretty good. Opponent's on white. What? Mono white? Is this life gain? Ooh, mono white control. Okay. Okay. So there is going to come a point here soon where we probably just pop this Bomat Courier. But we do have to watch out for shenanigans with oh, that was a good draw. This will probably draw out a Wrath. Probably don't want to overcommit anything. Sure. So we do have to watch out for 9 lives Solemnity shenanigans. Doomscar full cast. Seems fine. So, is there anything worth trash for treasuring here? Maybe a Thought Monitor. But I don't want to lose a land, right? So I think we have to do it this way. All right, interesting. Okay, well, a little unfortunate. Graftdigger's Cage, that's fine, right? We're not really doing a whole lot over there. I don't want to slam this. It sucks that this is turned off. But we have to kill this Karn. It might be worth for them to Wrath, right? Pretty good. Get rid of our land there. Oh, Big Boy Karn. Big Boy Karn's pretty good. But I mean, we 100% have to kill other Karn. Like, that just shuts off so many cards out of our deck. So we play this. We go down to 4. Yeah, no, we just have to keep going here. All right, well, we're drawing all of our thought mod. I'm not sure how I feel. All right, what are we giving? He already played a land, so that's good. We do potentially get to kill Karn here. I want to actually play these first before a potential settle the wreckage or some kind of weird shenanigans like that. And I could sack this, and then next turn we potentially start going. No, I think we're just gonna go for the draws. Emry's pretty good. Okay, so that's actually pretty huge, right? Emry doesn't do a lot because of the Grafdigger's Cage, but we can work around the Grafdigger's Cage. Right, so we could... Honestly, I think I just want to Faithless Looting. I want to draw a Dollhouse at this point, right? Let me read it. Exile a creature, make a token. Okay, perfect. Discard. Guess discard Emry, right? We don't really want to fuel that. So the Dollhouse gets around the Grafdigger's Cage because of the fact that it does exile the token and then puts a copy of it in. Okay. You're gonna -7? You know, wow. Wow. That's pretty crazy to me. That's pretty crazy to me. So, this is unfortunate that this comes into play tapped. However, we are going to tap this friend down. And this might be worth wrathing, right? I mean, this is a bolt target. That kind of sucks a little bit. All right, so how do we do this? So they're at 16. Let me get another Bomat Courier because they are colorless. We're going to get an Emry because Emry does actually make mana. And we are going to try to exact seize you. Yep. Untap. Wow. That was a cool game. It's pretty crazy that they actually did minus that first Ugin for 7 to get rid of 3 of our 2/2 flyers. But yeah, that does really show the power of Dollhouse of Horrors. Didn't really get to Gearhulk that game. But again, what we do, we just untap. We go and get any of our other creatures, another corridor. Probably not, because we don't need to do anything else that turn. Probably just another Bowmat Courier. And then we're swinging for quite a bit, right? We're swinging for 24. So pretty sweet, pretty sweet. So good games. Let's talk about this. All right, everybody, welcome back to the wrap up. So we played what, 2 games, I think, real quick. And then Magic kind of just crashed, and it crashed for everybody. Matchmaking stopped working, and I know you don't really get to see it in the video at all because we had to essentially take like a 4 or 5 hour break before the update, the update fix got pushed back in. But then it started. It seems like it started working, and it was working ever since then. So we did play 7 games. We did have a couple long games in there. Now we did lose twice. We lost to the Gruul Shaman build, and we lost to a Gruul Goblin build. So Goblins and Shamans, 2 decks that are super fast. The Goblin deck I feel like was a little bit closer because they were kind of stalled out. We actually were starting to build a board, and unfortunately we just didn't get there. And again, Goblins should not be built. It should not be played. Obviously, I'm not telling you not to play Goblins. You're going to play whatever you want to play, and I want you to play whatever you play. Play whatever brings you joy. But Muxus is not a card that is fun for most people. It should not exist. And the turn that we asked for them to stall once is when they decided to draw Muxus. So, yep. Sad trombone, womp, womp, womp. You know, whatever price is right, fail noise you want to play there. But yeah, that's what we lost to. But we did get to see some cool wins. We got to make a whole bunch of large constructs. We got to Combustible Gearhulk somebody out for damage. And then we got to overkill somebody kind of at the end for big 24 swing. I wish they would have just let us actually just get in. But yeah, pretty happy with the performance. Not the greatest deck, but it does have some explosiveness. And I do think there is something to this. I do think if we have ways to generate mana a little bit faster, that could help. And then also having more copies of Corridor Monitor, I do think that helps. So maybe if we're playing like mirror images or whatever the double-sided clone is, that could potentially be a land that's played in those Neoform decks. Mirror entity, I don't know, whatever it is. You could play those because once you get a Corridor Monitor into play, then you can just start like copying it, and you can kind of go off and play a whole bunch of those in one turn. I really did think about putting that in this deck, but I really wanted to go with more of an artifact build. And Combustible Gearhulk, one of my favorite cards, so it was kind of exploring that. So really happy we did it anyway. But that is the Combustible Dollhouse. So if you enjoyed this deck, again, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the cool links down below. And if you've made it this far into the video, again, remember, Decktember is just around the corner. It is about a week and a half away. And we're going to start playing viewer submitted decks all through December. And you're going to play we're going to play your deck as is. And then we'll play a few games. We will make a few changes. Maybe we think there's a better way to do something, and then we'll play a few more games, and yeah, we'll just see what happens. And it's usually a good time. So with that being said, everybody, I really hope you guys enjoyed the deck. Again, like, comment, subscribe. I'll do all that crazy stuff, but please keep staying safe, keep staying awesome. We will see you next time.